it's Zena, Warthog Princess, and welcome to another planner video. This one comes by request of Tara, who asked for a wellness log update and a skating update. Well, skating will have to wait, sorry. And I know it's taken a while to finally sit down and do this one, but here it is. Thank you for watching and thanks for the request. This is my Erin Condren Petite Planner Folio. In this folio, this is the Wonder Woman one in gold kind of embossed there. And this is just a charm that I added myself on there. But you open this up and inside it has elastics for 4 folios. At the moment there are 5 in here. I have found that 5 do fit very nicely. The 5th is just not tethered. There's no elastic for it. You could of course add another elastic, put a rubber band. I don't find that necessary. I think 4 is a great number. I just happen to occasionally throw a 5th in, like when I'm traveling or if I want to just keep some things together. So here is my old wellness journal that I just finished, end of year. And then inside the folio, I have the insert that you can buy that gives you this plastic page. On the front section, it has 3 card slots. And on the back, it has 2 larger slots. And then the back has a big like folio type slot. And in there I just have some wellness logs like for medical stuff that we're not going to get into, but it does add that extra page to keep things in. So you could put stickers for on-the-go planning, you could put pens, you could put whatever you want in those sleeves. I just keep it pretty simple, generally speaking. So the folios that I have in this, or the planners that I have in this folio, I have an undated monthly, which I have set up for 2022. I have a wellness log. This is an older version, I think, with just a solid color, but brand new journal that I've just started January 1st. Then I have a budget planner, and then my medical log, which we've gone through before, but we'll flip through just briefly as part of the wellness. So, budget log, I'm way behind on. I'm terrible about budgeting. I just stay within my means, if that makes sense. I have been overspending the last year or so with COVID and just a lot of online shopping and just really enjoying sharing on the channel and whatnot. So that will slow down based on my professional assessment of my finances. But anyway, that's neither here nor there for this video. That's just part of my financial wellness discussion. And I am going to try again to be better about keeping up with actually logging it, because when you see the numbers and deficits or gains, it matters, you know, and it forces you to face it, whatever that reality is, good, bad, or otherwise. So there's a saying, you know, energy flows where attention goes. So if I give the budget more attention, it will make me more aware and more active about doing better things. Yeah, so yeah, that's the plan. Same thing is true with the wellness log, actually. So let me pull this one out of the folio. And the way these go in, if you're not familiar, it has this elastic. You just find the middle of the book and you thread it through, and then it holds it by the spine. And you can still access the whole thing, which is nice. I do have the big life planner, the spiral. Here, let me show you real quick, because I have it right here. This is my main calendar. I use this. I did switch to the vertical. I had the horizontal, or I had the hourly previous. This is last year's actually. But I switched. But I have the same cover because I wasn't very creative. But I don't want to always carry that around. So if I just need to take my calendar with me to go to an appointment where I know I'm going to have to schedule a follow-up appointment, something like that, then I just take just the smaller planner, the petite one, and I can take that with me. It's also easier to take just this for traveling. So that's why I have 2 calendars. So it makes it redundant. It's twice the work to decorate, which is actually fun, as you can see. We're not going to go through all the pages, but I definitely have decorated the months in here as well. We'll go through a couple of them, I guess. So fall, whatnot. Okay, so twice to decorating, that's not a problem. I got a gazillion stickers, and it's very therapeutic sometimes to just put on some nice music and just sit down and do some mindless decorating. It's very creative. but it also gives you just a backup. You know, it makes you weekly at least sit down and resync the calendars, and that helps me to stay on top of things. I do not like to plan for the sake of planning. I admit, I just don't. I'm very simple. I'd rather not waste time planning. I'd rather spend that time doing. That's kind of this whole realization that I knew before and why I hadn't gone into planners before, and confirmed by my activity with planners. That being said, with COVID isolation and with being retired and having extra time, I have kind of enjoyed, you know, let's just do a little decorating. Let's sit down and put some creative reminders. And I keep all of my calendars anyway, always have. So it does give you something more fun to look back at when you're looking something up. It's more, you're like, oh, there's a lot more memories attached to it, which I do find fulfilling. So it's kind of a whole full circle discussion on the topic. And I know it's a lot of rambling today, but let's get down to the point of this video, and that is a wellness update. So this wellness log says, passion and purpose give you progress. Erin Condren wellness log, and it has these pretty florals. I added these stick-on tabs, and it started out as March through September, but I took a little break right about July. I was traveling with my brother. I was busy with other things. I was a bit off track with my diet and exercise plans, and I'd been so diligent for so long. I took a total break, and I basically just stopped logging everything. Didn't mean I stopped doing things. I was still cognizant of eating healthily and making choices and staying active, but I just didn't log it all. And I think for me, that was a necessary break, because it can be very, very tedious to log every single thing every single day. I just don't want to do that. I want to be free. Yeah. And then I got way off track. So I came back to it November, December, started to force my way back onto course. And now I'm sufficiently finally, after splurging in December on my trip, back on track. So let's take a look at how we're using this log. The very front of the log has just your title page, and I put the dates of what it was included in there. It has this first page, and I just wrote down some notes to self, my beginning biometrics, and then the next page is some wellness goals. I kept a pretty big picture. Like my first one says, same as last book, but better, because I was really, really strict the first 6 months, and then I was not as strict before coming into this book. So there you go. I put recover at next meal, not next day. Failure to plan leads to failure to execute. Yeah, stick to the plan. See notes to self at the end of the book for lessons and reminders. And then it has some fitness goals to get to for the year, or for the month, or for the 6 month period. These hold about 6 months worth of stuff. And so let me find a good page as an example. All right, well, this is not the best example as far as sticking to it, but anything you could see in red is bad. Yeah, so red means I ate things that were not part of my plan. On here, I put the day of the month down the side, so at a glance I could see not only what day it is, because it's Monday through Sunday, but I also can see the day. And if it changes months in the middle of the week, I just put the new month there, because at the top of the page it says the full week. Anyways, it made sense to me. It's all about the details. And then I would put what activities I did. Like on this day, I went fly fishing. I have my blood sugar listed there. I had 41 minutes of activity of higher heart rate, and I tracked all of that. I did use my Fitbit. I'm currently switching to my Apple Watch. We'll see. I'm trying different things. I don't want to be attached to the data, but I do want to objectively gauge my current progress, at least until I get down to my goal. So I'm going back to forcing myself into it, the tracking. So blood sugar, I added that. These aren't built for it, but I put my pulse, my blood pressure, my weight, a happy face if I made my step goal, sad face if I didn't, and then what was the steps for that day. I put the hours slept, the quality of sleep, and the change in weight on the side, plus or minus. So that's how I did that. And then on the opposite side, this is the side where I tracked what I ate, breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snacks. And I try to be pretty honest with myself and track everything. Even gum, gum is 5 calories. It's not the point. The point is I put it in me, so I put it in the book. And if you're honest with yourself like that, you will find where you're making mistakes. Now, I've got so much weight to lose that those small little bits aren't going to be a factor for a while. It's the bigger picture. But as you get closer and closer to the goal, those smaller things will count more. It'll get harder and harder to whittle it down. So if I start that now, by the time I get to that point, hopefully I will be wired in. So there's a lot of philosophy along with the sharing of the book. But as you get to each of the monthly markers, there is a monthly progress page. And I don't want to keep it facing you too long because the point isn't to read what my goals or my notes were. It's for you. It has at the top of each of the monthly, it has the biometrics section again. So you write all your measurements, your clothing size, your weight. I make some notes. Just notes to myself, something that happened, a reminder about something, lesson learned. It just could be whatever. It's reflective and proactive, kind of, refocusing myself. On the other side, it says my wellness goals, and there's a top section there. It's just little reminders like, okay, get on track, stay on track. Don't let others' opinions of you change your mind about yourself for better or for worse. Like you say, man, I need to get back and losing weight. And someone goes, oh, you're not fat. Well, that's lovely and complimentary and very kind. But it's also, to me, not true. So you have to be real with the good and the bad. Like, I know the truth is I need to lose weight. I'm not being harsh on myself. That's reality. So I take the compliment graciously, but to myself, I need to let it in, but not let it be. Does that make sense? I can't just go, oh, I'm doing so great. I could stop doing all of this and just be where I'm at. That's not the plan. So you have to be real on the good and the bad, and don't let the negative things creep in either. And then it says accomplishments and goal progress. You can use that how you want. I do kind of stick to that. So notes of things that I did good or bad along the way. And then the bottom section right here, it says plans for next month. So I pretty much do use that whole page as it's designed. And as you can see, I did, before I filled it all in at all, I decorated the pages. Each of them had a motivational thing, athletic kind of thing, and etc. So the only pages I decorated was those monthly pages. I have not decorated the new one yet, but there you go. At the very back of the book, you get to, there are 4 sides of pages that are just lined pages where you can write notes. These were notes along the way that were about the whole book, about the planning process, etc. It says like an error in a day is okay, but an error of a day is not. So again, that goes back to getting back on track, getting up and back on the horse after each little time that you fall, not just laying on the ground the rest of the day and staying off the wagon. Get back on it, get right back to it. So anyways, good things. And then at the very back, I put the number 1 lesson of 2021, and that in fact is energy flows where attention goes. And that big lesson is that for me, I don't want outside accountability. You could make me show up for weigh-ins. You could, make me do group counseling, whatever you want about any topic, and it won't matter. It won't, because I have to make the decision. I have to do the work. I have to be the one. So that outside accountability to me just stresses me out. It makes me frustrated. It makes me angry with the process. It makes me it's not. I'd rather just be accountable to myself, because that's where the work is done for me. Some people need that external stimulus and accountability. But for me, it doesn't work. It's often counterproductive, because then I'd rebel against it. I'm like, yeah, well, whatever. So there you go. Attention goes. If it goes here, it goes here. It happens. So the new log, here we go. It's the same style of logbook. I have a paper clip in here marking the page. So what I did was I started, no kidding, January 1st. So being that that day was a Saturday, I just crossed off the first part of the week and started at the bottom. And you can see that. I didn't go in and draw the circles for the smiley faces, but here is how I have the pages set up. You can see over on this side, you can see I've got P for pulse. Oh, sorry, not there, it's here. P for pulse, BP for blood pressure, BS is blood sugar. And so each week I'll set up the template to give myself where to fill in all the gaps. And if I'm diligent about it, it takes just a couple moments when I get up in the morning, I brush my teeth, I go to the bathroom, or whatever, I weigh myself, and then I come out, sit down, do my blood sugar, blood pressure, pulse, log my sleep, log my weight, and if I'm having breakfast, log it. Today, I'm just having coffee in my awesome mug that I love. Because I need a little caffeine today. Anyway, so that's it. And then right away, the log here. And so I'll start logging all of that. So that's pretty much it. The rest of the book is completely blank. I haven't filled it in. Last time I decorated ahead. And last time I also tabbed it with the months. I also went in and put a circle for the smiley faces. I've decided this time I'm not going to do some of that. No tabs and no circles. I can just put the smiley face and sad face without a circle around it. I don't need to just do that. Also, those monthly pages, I do think I'm going to go ahead and decorate them. Here's what they look like when they're completely blank. I've just written in the month at the top. That's it. So I do like to have that little bit of decoration. I did not have it on the first page because I right away went to work writing down a bunch of things. So there's not much room. Maybe I'll put one up there, some little things on here. The wellness log does come with a page of wellness related stickers. It comes in the back, that little pocket. So you can use those. There are tons and tons and tons of other stickers available on the market, online, in the stores, at Michael's and Joann's and all that. You can get so many things. Hobby Lobby, I have tons and tons of them. So I just add this to the selection to pick from. And I'm partial to motivational stuff. So yeah. Anyway, the other thing I have in here, and if you've watched my wellness planner stuff before, you've seen and heard this, but to me this is just, it's something I wrote down years ago, unrelated to wellness planners and stuff. I wrote it down, this black paper with the silver writer. And I just wrote down some things one day, and I don't even remember why I sat down and did it, but I keep it in my wellness log because there are good reminders, and I will share them with you. Once again, here they go. It just says, love yourself, fully, wholly, completely. Put you first. Pay attention to your body, put your mind at ease, and take care of you. Give yourself credit, no excuses. Love, leave, let go, live for you. Share with others, make peace with failures. Be better than yesterday, own your own, listen and learn, live your best life. And yeah, I drew a happy face and some hearts and stars and whatever. It's just a cheesy little thing, but it's good reminders. And for me, it's an important reminders because I tend to be a giver. I'm a giver. And so if there's something going on, I'll skip the gym to go hang with friends. I will skip my life to do something for someone else. I do it all the time. It's a blessing and a curse. And so this was just a point where I needed to remind myself that, don't stop doing all of that, but put yourself in a priority position so that you schedule the gym into the day. You stay on your diet. Don't just deviate because someone else is having cake or, pizza or whatever. Like, do what you need for you so that you can better be equipped to help everybody else along the way. So that's where it's focused. It's not meant to be the pendulum swinging the other way and being selfish and introspective all the time and, oh, me, 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 me. It's not that. It's just a reminder now and then to balance that internal-external scales. So yeah, that's a life story that goes much deeper and longer. We're not going to dig into that, but it's still good reminders to focus on this, because this is you and this is important. You are important. So there you go. That wraps it up. That is my current wellness logging state. As far as the journey itself, I had lost 60 pounds. I gained 20 back because I got way off track, and it was slow, insidious. I did well off the diet maintaining, and then I started to let things creep in, and I got off track. And so I started to gain weight back. I also was less active for a while. Yeah, COVID and weather and travels, and it was all those things, and it was great, but I need to make the life changes stick. So that's why I'm refocused. Weight is just a number. Age is just a number, but they are objective measures of things. And so for me to go back to tracking all the details, it matters because it means I'm focusing on it, and I can be much more quick to catch the small deviations, good or bad. Like the little steps in weight loss, they're sometimes hard to see. It's more apparent when people start to say things to you, or, hey, my clothes fit better today, and things like that. The numbers are what they are, but it allows you to see like, oop, it's going the wrong direction. You can stop the trend much more quickly if you're looking at the details every day. If you just take the week off and say, okay, I'm not going to weigh myself all week, that's great, and it's fine, and it's freeing, and you know, I'm not going to be weighing myself every day for the rest of my life, but for now, until I get to where I need to be, it's important. Does that make sense? So that's where I'm at with all of that. The journey is ongoing. It's a life journey. It's a marathon, not a sprint. So I could go on an extreme diet. I could just lose a bunch of weight. I could get like super fit, crazy. But that's not mentally or physically healthy, and that will not last for the long term, because as soon as you stop that insanity, you go right back to where you came from. My goal is to make lasting change, permanent change, life change. So I haven't been bad life. I just went through some things and got a little off track with eating crazy crap, and yeah, so anyway, that's reality, and we can all do what is best for us, and I hope you are doing that. And it has absolutely nothing to do with the new year for me. This is something that's ongoing. It just coincidentally, the book ended at the end of the year. So new book, refocusing, recapturing myself. The timing is just what it is, coming off of a big trip and an adventure. But for some people, the new year is a new start, a new adventure. So if you are committing to something, I do hope you stick with it. And I hope that you see the results that you're looking for. So best wishes for everybody, and be kind to one another. Be kind to yourself. Be well.